Okay, so Kim and I went and saw our first psychic today.
We absolutely did.
And I guess we're going to tell you about how that went for us.
Yep. So, Jordan, can we start with yours? You gave me a little tidbit, and I want you to pick up off deep sea fishing, please.
Absolutely. Well, deep sea fishing was the end. It was the...
Walk us through how we got there.
Yep. So we went to a lady close to us. She's in Maryland. We actually were supposed to see her last week, but I guess her scheduling got messed up. We showed up. She wasn't there.
Psychics are bad with schedules.
It seems like it. Yeah, it's been hard to nail down anyone to actually give us a reading. So we finally had one, which is exciting in and of itself.
We're about a month into this process, so this is very exciting.
And I didn't know what to expect. This is, the first time we've gone and seen anybody for any kind. Well, I've seen someone once before for like a psychic reading. They did a card reading for me, and that was years ago. And that was a really weird experience. This was not as weird. The lady was lovely. She had a tiny little shop in downtown Frederick, which is really nice.
It's an old city.
And, just on the canal. So went in, one room, sat at the table with her, and she was holding 3 rocks. I didn't ask her what rocks.
I didn't either. I wanted to.
I should have asked more questions for sure. Especially.
The rocks seemed really important. It seems kind of a huge oversight that we didn't ask what they were.
Or any questions at all.
I didn't really,
We'll get better at this, guys.
No, probably not, but this is the general
I was nervous. I was more nervous last week.
Nervous?
When I showed up.
Oh.
And she wasn't there. I was more nervous leading up to that. This time not as nervous, but still nervous just because it's new.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was a little nervous last time. I don't know why I wasn't nervous this time.
You were busy. You were just like trying to rush there. You didn't have time to, So I went in with the mindset. I didn't mean to. It wasn't intentional, but I realized kind of midway through that's what I was doing. That I went in with the attitude of, you're the psychic, right? So you tell me what I should be asking. Why you tell me, like...
I'm not giving you any information.
I was definitely thinking, like, I'm not going to tell her anything about myself.
My future, and we'll see how that works out.
And that's not apparently how it works.
No.
She wanted to know some specifics before we got started. You know, she got my name. Well, she already had, and she had, I think, already done, and she had my birthday. Yeah. She had already done some numerology based on that. She did a lot of numerology for me.
She did that for me, too. Yeah, she had, when we walked in, I think you probably had the same thing. Our names, our birthdays, and then, like, some numbers written around it, some of them circled.
Yeah, what our numerology is all about, which I don't know a ton about numerology, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
And she asked... what is it that what
do you want to know?
Yeah, what do you want to know?
Yeah, what's good? What's up?
And I was not prepared for that for some reason.
Because, I mean, you have this expectation you're going to walk in and she's going to go, "Oh, Jordan, I've been waiting for you. Please sit down." And then her crystal ball would start to do stuff, and you'd get a glimpse into your future. But that's kind of not how that went.
It's not how it went. She wanted to know. I got the sense
what you wanted to know.
Yeah, I got the sense that if, the more specific I could have been, the better it would have gone. And because there was 0 specifics to my questions, it didn't go. It was a very broad, general, sweeping kind of reading. So I said career. I was like, career and family.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was super broad.
Those are topics you pick for what you're interested in with your horoscope.
Exactly right.
Money?
Yeah.
Life?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's so
love.
I went wide. and then she's like, "Well, what family?" And that kind of took that threw me. I was like, "You tell me," it was
what family?
She was because family is, could be a lot of things, right? She's like, "Do you want to know about your mom? Do you want to know about
psychic?"
Right? Exactly. But but that's the wrong way to approach this.
Okay, yeah, apparently you want to be...
You want to have specific, like, what do you actually want to know?
Apparently not as specific as, like, yes or no.
Right.
Because I went in with, like, a kind of yes or no question and did not get...
a yes or no answer.
Not really. I mean, a little, but not... So, yeah, so somewhere in between there. So just develop highly specific, but not too specific questions before you go into a psychic.
And I think, so she said a prayer, and then she started calling on... my spirit guides, and then she called on her spirit guides to help my spirit guides. And after that, I kind of had an understanding of, okay, so she is reaching over, right, to this other dimension to contact the spirits, the beings, the entities that are with me. Yeah. You know, most of my life that have insight into my contract.
Want to talk to you.
And... they're the ones who have the answers that she, you know, that's where she's getting her information. So in that sense, it makes sense to have some more specific questions, right? Like, yeah, like I can imagine my spirit guide sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Like family.
Like,
yeah. Right?
Your dad's side, your family.
Yeah.
Like just the concept of it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so that was helpful. Not in that moment because I was still like I just couldn't really come up with anything. Yeah, exactly.
Like to kind of come up with some specific questions, and so I would not have been clever in that moment.
Going into it, you should have, I think, some questions beforehand.
Yeah.
So she, you know, started contacting the other side, and she was doing some swaying. I actually started swaying with her at one point. Okay. Yeah, involuntarily. I was like, well, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
She was tapping on her table. She's holding her rocks. She's kind of like rolling them around in her hand.
Would
those
balls.
Those
yep. Like one would with balls that fit in your palm. If anyone has a point of reference for that. That's what's going on. With three different, they looked like almost coal, like smoothed over.
Yeah.
Like dark matte balls, but
they were all
perfectly smooth.
They were 3 dark green, different sized.
They were dark green. Okay.
Yeah, they were dark green.
And different sized, yeah. That was weird.
It's definitely 3 different stones.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, you know, career and family. Yeah. And she was like,
career and
she was
family.
like, so what do you do? And I was like, oh, like I work in the financial industry. Mm-hmm. She's like, okay, like what's the name? I was like, you know, financial. So she's like, no, what's the name of your company? I was like, oh, like she like, you know, specifics. What's the name of your company? Yeah.
Like,
so
I'm a therapist.
Right. I told her, she asked me what my title was. I told her, and that's really not what I want. That's not what I wanted to know about. No. Right? Like, that's not...
No. I have some very specific questions for the psychic on your behalf.
Oh, well, that's nice. So, I didn't want to know... I mean, I wanted to know everything kind of in general. So, she was like, all right, let me, hold for a moment while I converse with your spirit guides about this career that you're in right now. And basically, I think really all she said about that, she said that I would be there 5 more years.
Okay.
And that there was a promotion coming in 2023, I think she said.
Okay. But that you'd only stay for another couple years after that?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to do after? The deep sea fishing?
I didn't ask.
I can't.
I didn't ask. I was just like, it's not as exciting as you. You're building it up. It was. I'll get it out of the way. She was like, Carlos likes deep sea fishing. That would be a nice gift to give him for something. She's like, I'm seeing deep sea fishing.
A gift for Carlos? That's what it was? I was building this up. I thought like you and your family were going to move out.
No.
And go be like sea nomads.
No. I mean, what she said was, I see deep sea fishing. And then I was like...
So you and Carlos taking like a birthday trip for him.
I was like, I mean...
Because I really don't see that for you guys at all right now.
No, not a lot of...
That seems like a trip you would take to kill him.
Not a lot of deep sea fishing. Oops,
he fell off.
In my life thus
and then
far.
Insurance money or something. Like, why on earth would you guys go deep sea fishing?
Yeah. So when she said deep sea fishing, I was like, I mean, maybe
we're done.
Maybe, Carlos enjoys fishing.
Did he have a dream?
He would love to go deep sea fishing.
Does he fish at all?
He does.
Oh,
he really actually really enjoys fishing and would love to go deep sea fishing.
Oh, okay.
But,
that's cool. That's a nice gift for him.
There's a lot of things he would like, too.
True.
I mean...
that might be higher on the list than deep sea fishing.
It's not like... he definitely would like it. So, whatever. I wrote it down.
But who wouldn't?
That
sounds like a fun gift. If someone gifted you that.
That's a badass gift.
Right. Let's go. Let's do that. Okay. I thought this was like a grander vision for your future. I didn't know.
Sorry, I had to stop you.
Gift tips. Yeah, because I was getting, and by the minute, apparently getting more excited. Because I'm...
Just get to the deep sea fishing!
Precipitously. My mood has declined.
All right. So I actually think that if I remember, she started with my numerology first, mine specifically.
Okay.
And I should have written down more stuff.
So we're going to get the recordings of our respective readings within a couple days.
Yep, apparently. She's going to send us the recordings. But she talked about my numerology. She said something about the number 7. She said 7 shows up, in your numerology twice.
Okay. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
She said it makes me intuitive.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what else. She talked about the 22nd. She said always start new projects on the 22nd. I wrote that down. I was like, that seems important. I'm going to write that down.
It's some concrete, good, woo-woo shit type advice.
Always start things on the 22nd.
And you're just going to have that in your mind now. So you're just going to manifest the
22nd is going to be a good day.
Good day.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
More about my numerology. She said I'm the master of my own success, meaning that I am in charge of how successful or unsuccessful that I will be.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what number did she come up with for you?
1, 3, and 7. She said if I had an 11, it would be more powerful. But I was like, you also did my numerology based on my name Kim, which isn't maybe Kimberly,
right?
Whatever. But I can tell. She said I was psychic.
She said I was psychic too, but maybe it's because we both have 7s in our numerology.
I was so pumped.
I took it as it was a high compliment. I was like,
I know, bitch, I know. No, she was telling ways to cultivate it, and then did she look at your palms?
She did look at my palms.
She made me do all the palms. She said, "Oh, there it is. There's your psychic line." And gave me all these tips of videos to watch and things to do to hone my psychic abilities.
That's nice. She didn't do that for me.
Because I have trouble accessing my spirit guides and communicating with them.
Okay.
She gave me a lot of weird information that was either you are just crazy, you know a lot about the world and perceive a lot of things, or you are like this is weird. So I got a few of those moments. I didn't get any deep sea fishing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's continue. Let's continue.
Okay.
So she talked about the numerology, talked about success, that it's going to be something that I have to make happen for myself.
Right. Which seems like generally good advice for humans.
I mean, some people maybe are just lucky, right? That's nice. But even those people, I think probably
not people going to psychics.
Everyone. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the rich people I know don't spend money on things like this.
Yeah. So she asked about career. She asked me specifically where I work now. And I told her, she gave me that information. She did not elaborate on it too much, which I was worried that she was going to, right? I was worried that she took it as this is, I said, what about career? And then she asked me specifically about my current career.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be that's the wrong thing.
This isn't my career.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be my career.
But she didn't. She really didn't talk about it a lot. She was just you're going to be there for 5 years and,
And then it's up to you.
Yeah. And there's room for promotion. And then she kind of left it at that. And that, I think, is when I said I also have this new venture that I'm going on with my friend, and then she started she wanted specifics, and I was
she called it a business.
Resident. I was like,
well, it's not quite a business yet.
I hesitated in giving her any information for
really?
I was just I don't know. It was
you are very guarded about it.
I am. I'm
for
guarded.
Something that we're talking about to put on the internet. You're very
guarded about all of it. I was guarded about all of it.
Yeah.
Just because of this whole psychic.
Because you're kind of testing it for
I wanted
validity.
her to tell me. Yeah.
You tell me.
Exactly.
You're the psychic. I just bought a scratch off. Why didn't it win?
Yeah. What?
Which scratch
you
off
tell me
buy next?
Exactly what I should be doing with my life is what I was hoping.
And I'm not going to stock tips?
I'm not going to give you any insight.
Right. Figure it out. You have the balls. You literally have so many balls in front of us. There were so many crystal balls.
There were. I did like those.
It was fun. Yo, the t-shirts.
Yeah, I was looking at those too.
I really wanted to buy one. There was a lot of wild jungle animals in front of moonscapes on t-shirts for sale, which was nice.
Fairies, wolves.
Right. In front of really elaborate airbrush scenes.
Exactly what you would expect.
Really dope shit.
Then we went on to family.
Okay.
She's like, so what family? And I was like,
I don't know, probably the one you're actively creating.
And that's what I said. I was
the one
like,
that's most present in your life.
I don't know what I said. It was such a silly roundabout. I was being so coy. Is I really.
You were actively trying to frustrate her.
Yeah,
and I'm actively trying to feed it and validate it. Oh well, that was totally wrong, but it could be this.
She's like, okay, family. What family? And I was like,
tell me what family.
New. She's like, she said, what family member? Specifically.
That one.
And I said, it's new family members. And
be more vague, Jordan.
Right.
I couldn't just possibly directing this too much. These are leading questions.
A bit more vague.
Career and family.
Yeah. New family. What is that even? Yeah. So I was no help to her. I was no help to her at all.
Oh.
But then I finally was like, so I'm pregnant right now. I didn't tell her that I had other kids. I don't know why. I kept it secret
you don't want
until
her to know.
Later.
Yeah. And also, I think you need to go back and explain your previous experience meeting with one of these individuals and how that was.
Now that
could
went
be informing how guarded you were with this.
That went. I also went into that reading the same way I went into this one, and they gave me a lot. They did not need any information from me.
Yeah, but they what was the information they gave you, Jordan?
So the thing that really stands out is several years ago now. The thing that stands out, really the only thing I remember, is towards the end of it, and she was like, and you have a demon
yeah.
that you inherited from your mother. And
BT
I was like,
does.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And then she told me that she could exercise my demon for I think it was $2,000.
Oh, I feel like it was more than that.
There's charts that needed to be made.
Yeah. Which also costs money. It was just she gave you an itemized invoice of all the spiritual cleansing you needed.
And then she told me that she could front me the money.
Yes.
To do it. And they were they were gypsies. It was a mother and daughter. The
who
room
were also
was
as gypsy bookies.
It was ice cold in their house. There were dead bodies hidden somewhere in the house that needed to be kept really cold.
Yeah, people that didn't pay back their demon cleansing.
Yeah,
bill.
it was. So I don't have any kind of
why you'd be guarded walking into that. And especially about your children.
Yeah.
Say, you don't want to open them up to that kind of... But she didn't have, a gypsy vibe.
Yeah.
She had, bleached blonde hair. Yep. She was a regular-ass lady.
Yeah, she didn't have a gypsy vibe. And I wasn't guarded. I wasn't, protecting them. Really, I didn't actually want to know anything about them. Oh. Right? I don't feel... I am
you don't feel
not...
compelled to...
No, I'm just not unsure in that area of my life, right? I'm not unsure of them and who they are as people. No. I have a pretty good handle. They're
cool
straightforward. Yeah, there's no
got, good strong personalities. They're healthy, happy kids.
They're still, they still have a lot of life to live.
Well, yeah,
so
they're
I don't
5.
Yeah, so I don't feel like if I was maybe having difficulty with one of them, right, and was having a hard time,
if one of them was like a teenager,
and we were just
going through
and
it.
I couldn't connect with them,
right?
Maybe that would be something that I would want to know about, but
guidance on.
Yeah, but I really wasn't like I didn't feel like I needed guidance in that area of my life, but I did.
Did you ask what sex the baby was going to be?
So I didn't ask.
Ah!
So I didn't ask.
Why?
So
I should have asked.
She said that, I told her that I was pregnant, that it was still early, and she said, this is what she said. She said, "Oh, do you know you're having a girl?" And I was like, "No, it's still too early. Like, we don't know." And she's like, "Oh, I see pink." And I was like, "Oh, that's exciting."
Yay!
Because I actually have 3 boys at home. So then I told her about them.
Yeah, and you've always wanted a daughter.
Right. And, 3 boys. It's a lot of boys. So
and then there would be 4 boys. And then however many boys there were going to be until there was a girl.
That was exciting. And she also told me that she thinks that she sees 5 children. I was like,
I do too.
I don't know. I don't like the number 4, so who knows?
5 is a bad number with tarot cards, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think 4,
the tarot cards equate it to it being like the 4 legs of a table. Like it's sturdy, it's stable.
Yeah.
But then you add U2 onto it, and then that's 6.
Yeah, but if you add 5, then that's just an extra leg.
Per 7.
More sturdy. Yeah.
For that side.
So.
For whatever side has more legs.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm weird about numbers. Some things have to be odd and some things have to be even.
Right.
And I've always thought about children in odds. I don't know I have no idea why. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
No, I do too. I think so. But 5 sounds good.
Yeah.
So maybe this one, maybe it's twins. Maybe you'll have a boy and a girl.
What if or maybe it's, I don't know. We'll see.
You just got this wave of exhaustion just came over Jordan's face when I said twins. She went, oh.
Well, and I felt,
and she deflated a little
bit of excitement, but also
the excitement came and then reality smacked it down like a fly. It's no, you're tired already.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's gonna happen.
Who knows? And then she told me this, which I didn't like. I don't like it when people do this. Okay. I only ever want to hear good things when it comes to this. She said, "I see 5 children for you. I'm actually the oldest of 5." I was like, "Oh, really?" She said, "Yeah, I didn't like it." I was like, "You didn't like?"
Why would she say that?
Yeah, she said it. She said, "I didn't like it. I didn't like being, I didn't like having that many."
So she did something a little similar to, I asked her about my love life. We're talking about that. And at one point she goes, I see mechanics for you. I see a mechanic. I was like, no, I don't see a mechanic at all. And I was like, my biological father was a mechanic. And that was, why the fuck do you think I'm here at 34 right now? Can you not tell from the tone of my voice that I'm not... Nothing against mechanics. They're probably wonderful people, but I have significant daddy issues that I don't think would benefit a relationship with a mechanic. She said, "Oh, okay." And then just moved on like it was nothing. And I was like, you just kind of upset me.
We need to talk about
dare
this. Not all mechanics are Rick.
And not all siblings of 5 are miserable.
Exactly.
But she interjected it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's similar, but it also I don't care about your life.
Right.
We're here to talk about me. Not that I'm going to give you any information about it.
Yeah. And also, just because I have a large family as it is, I only ever want to hear good things about large families and not anyone saying,
I would love a huge... And I feel because you get, if you have 3 kids, there's, that dynamic of the middle kid. 4, I feel it starts to even out the dynamic a little bit.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. In due time.
Yeah, well, when the twins come.
So...
I'm so excited.
My maternal grandmother was a twin. That shit runs.
And I think it's supposed to run on your maternal side,
That's what I've heard.
There's a shit ton of twins on my mom's maternal side.
Yeah. So, who knows? We'll see. So, she'd said that. That was exciting.
That is exciting.
Yes.
Maybe a girl.
And then what? And then, so then we covered the career and family that I wanted to talk about. Okay. So, it just kind of got,
roundabout. As the spirits come.
Yeah. So she told me about my iron deficiency and that I need to check on that.
Maybe. That's okay. Good, lifelong.
Yeah. Who doesn't have a little iron deficiency?
Who wasn't chewing on raw pasta all throughout middle school?
She mentioned working remotely when the baby comes, which I'm already planning on doing. Of course. There was that. She talked about my gut health. She said something specifically like about gut health, colon health, and I was like, no, I don't really have any issues, but I wonder if she was picking up on my like urinary tract.
Maybe that's
she was
it.
Like she kept like pointing to her diaphragm and lower. So like maybe she was just
colon, but it was really
picking up on urinary tract.
You really do
have so many issues.
But I know really more women than don't seem to have a lot of issues. I guess just because nothing's ever happening in mine. Nothing bad happens either. Yeah. It's just like a cave of mysteries.
But it was for sure. It was...
It's highly populated.
She talked about that. What else? And then I think from there she started specifically talking about the boys. She wanted their names and birth dates, which was a struggle. I could not remember. You
just made it up.
Make up there. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I thought you meant struggle like emotionally.
No. I just couldn't remember.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
I never know how old your kids are. I was going to say 23, but I think that's my parents' anniversary. I don't know. Your birthday is literally the only human's birthday. Like, I can truly remember off the top of my head.
I still have to call Katie and ask her what my dad's birthday is every now and then.
Oh, that's good. I have absolutely no idea what my biological father's birthday was.
Yeah, but my dad's still living, and I see him all the time.
I can only remember my real dad, my stepdad's birthday.
So she talked about the boys. I gave her the birthdays.
Okay, so what'd she say?
So for Javier, she said he also has a 7 in his. So intuitive. I think the 7 is where the intuitive psychic thing comes in.
Okay.
Intuitive, sensitive.
Yes. And he is a little
He's definitely sensitive.
Yes.
She says he's like a little adult.
He is. He's an old soul.
Yes. I don't know if so all of the stuff that she was saying about the boys, I think when you have 3 kids, you can generally like each one falls very strongly into their role in birth order, right? Yeah. Like the older one is always like
maybe there's something to that birth order thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it plays out the exact same way.
Drawn on to like you're responsible for your little brother from a very young age. You're the bigger one. You're the bigger one.
You're the one in charge. If the 2 little brothers are fighting, you're the one who should know better for all of them. You know.
They can act like an asshole, but you have to. Move past it.
So it was still interesting to hear her say, but also at the same time, I was like, I could pretty much say this about, I could meet any person with 3 kids and tell them exactly what their 3 kids are like.
You could go around with the lady who tells jokes.
Because it plays out pretty much the same way. Like, I don't think I've ever seen it.
The oldest is very responsible, very intuitive, sensitive, very rule following.
Yep, taking care of everyone.
Right. Middle child is
a fucking wild,
crazy.
Yep. And that's what she said about Max. Yep. And that was very true.
And he is.
He is.
He's dope. What'd she say about Don? Because I still feel like he's too much of a baby, but I think he knows he's the baby.
She said...
So he's kind of bad.
She said that he is sensitive to negative emotions. Right? Like, who isn't?
Yeah.
She said she sees a lot of Max in him, which I definitely... Yeah, that is true.
More of Max than Javi. Yeah.
She said it was funny how different... Javi seems from the other 2, which I thought was interesting.
Yes,
because that is true. Yeah. Yeah, Donovan has picked up on a lot of Max's mannerisms, like way more so than Javi, because Javi doesn't really have any super strong, like, mannerisms, right? Like Max does. Donovan's for sure picked up those.
Max has, really strong, like, very expressive facial features, just very emotive.
The noises, right? Like all the weird, like the like, and like
the little boy grunts.
I talk like this for some reason. Like they both do that.
You do it when they're trying to be cute or trying to get away with some shit.
Anything, like just anything. Like sometimes they just fall into it, and so a thing you'll hear in my house often is use your normal voice. Sorry, yes, Yeah. Like Muppets.
Like it. Very cute.
She said that Javi is very smart.
He is.
And that we'll have to challenge him intellectually. Max, focus will be an issue.
Yeah.
So she mentioned specifically riding bikes, which Javi has just been doing. He's been riding his bike. She's like, have they been riding bikes? Have you tried getting them all on bikes recently? Which is interesting because...
We did that last summer too.
No, we really didn't. It was honestly in these last 3 days.
No, I rode bikes with them last summer.
No, I'm telling you.
That never happened?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it has been very specific in this last week. Carlos got Javier out riding his bike without training wheels.
Okay.
He tried it before. He really didn't like it. But now he's doing it. And so what they've been doing every single morning for the last 4 or 5 days is getting out and riding bikes, which is not something that we do. So that was pretty interesting. He was like, that is a very specific thing.
Right.
We weren't talking about anything. She's like, riding bikes.
Right.
I'm seeing riding bikes.
Mm-hmm.
I also messaged her on Facebook when she wasn't, when she didn't show up last time because there's, she had a Facebook page and I was just trying to get in touch with her anyway.
So she could have stalked you on Facebook.
And there's a video of him riding his bike on there.
She's very tech savvy.
So
she was talking to me a lot about YouTube and Gaia TV and Fire Sticks and shit. She's an older lady, but she is very tech savvy. So I'm sure she did Facebook stalk the both of us quite a bit.
Yeah, so I'm like...
But you can't see shit on my Facebook.
Right. And mine hardly ever either. Carlos just recently put up the video of Javi riding his bike. Yeah.
But you can't get personality from the boys from your Facebook. It's just videos of them being adorable.
No, I'm just thinking about that specific bike riding thing because that was very specific.
Okay.
I
had a couple moments like that too.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting. That's what I'm saying.
And then she talked a little bit about Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I don't remember how she put it, but it was like she's picturing does he work a lot? And I was like, well, he actually stays home with the kids.
But that's a lot of work.
Yeah, he stays home with the kids and he does do work on the side when he can, relatively often. And she said, well, I guess it might be that he really wants to get back out in the workforce soon. I was like, yes, that's probably true.
Well, then why are you having another baby?
She was like, I see you and your kids here, in this one area, and Carlos, over here, right? Kind of...
Really?
And to her, that meant work. So, I don't know about that. That's certainly not the case right now.
No.
But who knows? I mean, he is starting to explore, kind of what it's going to look like once he does go back to work. So maybe that's what she was picking up on.
Okay. Yeah, that he's putting a lot of energy into that image right now. Yeah.
She did ask if he was previous military, and I said yes. So that was interesting. She said, I see a lot of organization. She likened it to his military background.
She told me that I would be good with an ex-military because I really like routine.
Maybe maybe there's enough people in the world that are... is there enough military in the world that if you just say military...
Yes, the DC metropolitan area, yes, there is, I think. Right? But also, one of the weird things she kind of said, she was rolling her balls around and closing her eyes and was like, so I'm seeing this, she had a lot of insight into my job and was pretty accurate, but referring to the new job, she's like, you work with a lot of men. Yes, primarily men. She's like, men that have they been to jail or are they in jail? Do they have drug issues? And I was like, yes, this is what I do. I, do mental health and substance abuse assessments for parole and probation. Like, oh, okay. I'm surprised you haven't drawn a police officer to you. Because, one of the things my love life, is that ever going to fucking pan out? And I was like, yeah, no.
No, you have dated a police officer.
I said, has drawn them to me. But there tends to be a difference in just overall approach to life and morality and just general being a decent person that I clash with police on. Just, okay. So I'm drawing maybe some military. And, that's kind of how some of it went. But, when I said... So I sat down and said, so I want to know, I'm 34, I'm single, what's going on with my love life. I said, I want to know what's going to happen with my grandma, who we think is struggling with dementia right now, and I want to know, like, what's going to happen work, career, like, Woo.ish wise. Because Jordan had called me after her reading and said, it'll be better if you have some specific information. So that's what I went in with.
Yeah, no, tell me. So I think that basically, and then we
you guys
finished up with deep sea fishing, and that was it.
That's how to keep Carlos back around. So she did say she got that I was very strongly intuitive. I was a psychic. I need to, hone my psychic ability. She can see that I work that into my therapeutic practice. But the first thing she said, like when I gave her my list of things, she like rolled the balls around and, sat, and I didn't sway with her, but I did keep my eyes closed. Like I was like just kind of praying. Because she said feet flat on the floor, and my feet didn't reach flat on the floor, so I was really trying to get them both flat on the floor. So that's what I remember. Jordan took like diligent, beautiful notes, and I'm just okay. So she goes, okay. So I mean, your spirit guides want me. They're drawing me to around you first. So you first. She's like, so. What do you, like, what's going on with your job? She wanted to know exactly what the company name was, and I was like, well, I'm a therapist. She said, oh, okay, and she wrote therapist down. So I said, but that's a new job. I just left a job that was kind of soul-sucking and, really exhausting. Now I'm in this new place where I know it's not where I'm going to land, but I don't really know where to go from here, so that's what I wanted the focus to be on.
Good job.
Right?
Not just career. Go.
Career. But see, it would have gone exactly like career if I had sat down. Or if you hadn't like called me and said like, yo, think of some specific shit 10 minutes before you walk in.
What do you want to know?
And so she's like, I can't really see much about like the future, but it's showing you like just laying on your couch like, and like she made that noise in her face like, she's like you are just exhausted. Like there was nothing of you. You were just like a shell laying on the couch. You had no time for your family, for friends, for a relationship, for your health, for anything. Like you were just exhausted. I was like, yeah, but I'm not there anymore. I'm at a new place. She's like, okay. Oh, and your psychic sucks.
What?
And like I think the first thing out of my mouth was, I don't have a psychic.
Right.
Don't tell me my psychic sucks.
You're my psychic.
Bitch. Yeah, I don't know. No, I didn't even put that two together. I was just like, no, you're wrong. No, but you're a psychic. You have psychic abilities. You're intuitive and you use that in your practice. And blah, blah. So it's funny that she said that to both of us.
She didn't elaborate at all, though.
Oh, she elaborated a lot on mine. Like, oh, there it is in your palms, and look at this guy. And she gave me this doctor's name and wrote him down, told me all about his YouTube videos and how much money he makes. Like,
oh, that's what's up.
Channeling all these people. And she was really like, what you really need to do is, hone your psychic ability so your spirit guides can better communicate with you. Which is also apparently something I have to work on, which is communicating with romantic partners.
Very interesting.
Okay.
That's some like real homework that she sent you home with.
She gave me way more homework. So about the love life thing. So she's doing that ball thing and like tapping the table.
Yeah, yep.
And she keeps doing this and I'm starting to look around. She like at one point goes, damn. And keeps tapping.
No way.
I was like, yo, really? Like, is this fucking woman that I'm paying to be a psychic? Like, isn't the whole point of this, like, to tell me positive things so I can approach life with optimism and positivity? And the first thing she's talking about is my love life, and taps the table 28,000 times and just go, oh my God, like, this is a fucking nightmare. I'm like, woo. And so, like, I think she became aware of how grim the prediction might have been. Because she's like, okay, so next March, I see you meeting somebody.
Me a couple dates. She gave me some specific dates.
Mid-March.
Yeah.
I'm going to meet someone. But I'm at the time, I'm going to be dating 2 people. And I'm not going to be sure which is the one. Which will be a vast improvement. Yes. I'll go from swiping out cobwebs every other month to juggling men at 35 years old. Anyway.
Okay. March. We'll be on the lookout in March.
So she first said that what she was seeing for me in mid-March was a recurring partner of mine that I've known for a really long time, that's about 6'2", has sandy blonde hair, is cocky and arrogant for no reason, and I just argue with and go back to, and he's gonna come back. And, like, when she's talking about, like, I see someone for you, and this is who you're gonna end up with, like, that's the context. And are you thinking of anyone specific? Because I am.
Yeah, right? I mean, are we Adam?
Adam.
Right? Yeah.
Yes! And I was like, no! Like, no, that can't be the answer. Like, no, you can't pull that motherfucker out of a hat.
Well,
why that motherfucker? Really? No. Okay, so fuck that, right? So I told her, like,
maybe, the juggling.
I think I know who you're talking about. She's like, he's going to keep coming back. Like, he's a solid, like, presence, a consistent presence. And I said, in the future, too? And she's like,
that's
yep.
been true for many
10 years.
Yeah. So, why would it change unless there was someone else? Right? I mean...
So, she quickly changed tactics, I think, when she could feel that I almost started crying over this news. I was like, no! Like, my birthday party got canceled. And I was like, I think I can think of someone who meets that description, and it's not a good situation at all. And I really hope that that's, like, not it for me. Okay, yeah, no, I can see that it's bad. And I'm like, yeah, we've been kind of off and on, but not in a real way, for about 10 fucking years. And, like, it's not getting any better, and it's not going to.
It's not changing.
And we're currently in a fight right now. Like, we're not even fucking right now. So, like, please don't let that be it, because I was absolutely, like, I'm not saying I'm sorry first to get some dick. Like, he needs to come back first. That's where we're at in our cycle of love. And then she go, okay. And then she said the thing about, she's like, okay, well, let me see. And she does the tapping of who's going to come. And after she says, damn, she taps for another, like, 30 seconds. And then goes, mid-March. And I was like, of what year? Like, you were shocked. So her first advice was to do a man box.
Oh,
and
that sounds like fun.
Write down all the characteristics I want out of a man and be, like, painfully specific. She even, quote, down to pecker size.
Tight.
Yes. And she said, don't write down likes to travel, because he might like to travel with his mistress, or he might like to travel for work. So write down likes to travel with me.
To this place, right?
Yes, exactly. Like, be really And she's like, oh, and this guy manifested it in a month, and he had 400 items on his list.
This guy from work said that's how he found his wife. He got super specific one day.
We gotta interview for the podcast, because he's amazing.
He said it as a prayer, and he wrote it down, like, all the the specifics, even, like, she likes sex, like, she wants to have sex this often.
Yeah. And
these are her, like, she has nice
to go to sleep
that
at
are big.
Time.
Yeah. He got super specific.
She was like, be as specific as humanly possible.
And then found his wife that he's been married to for, like, I don't know, 30 years or something like that.
All right, well, there we go. So we're going to try the man box. And after all of her love predictions for me, for a cop, a mechanic, and Adam.
Well, and maybe she's just picking up on everything that has been going on. I mean,
right, and that's
all
not
of
what
those
I want.
things are...
I thought we were talking about the future. Thought we were moving on.
Maybe the man box will help then.
I fucking hope so.
Right? Because do you know what you want?
And no, I haven't nailed it down quite to that. I don't know, but I'm
I don't know.
I'm at 30. Like, what are my fucking options? It seems and I said, it seems counterproductive to get that specific about this is what I want.
You've already said a whole lot of things that you don't want.
Yes. And I'm getting all of it. Oprah,
that's the universe working that way. You know how it works like that.
What you dwell on is what you get.
When you put a lot of don't out into the world,
I know.
Doesn't understand
we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
So that was some good homework. So I'll sit and do that, and we'll see how many items I come up with. I don't know what the box thing is about. I guess I just write down a quality when I think of it and pop a little piece of paper in there.
Yeah, like a piggy bank.
Oh, I was like a suggestion box.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a suggestion box. I like that.
For the universe.
For your man.
My man suggestion box.
Yes.
Maybe we'll make a fun little label for it.
I fucking
Put
like
stickers
that
on
a
it.
lot.
Right? See, I liked my reading. And I think I had kind of a better experience. And I got this kind of advice because it was specific. So you gave me good advice.
Yeah.
But anyway. So we go through the whole, like, this is your horrible choice in men and why you're 34 and you've never been married or had a serious relationship and why you're profoundly fucked up. She said to think about, like, my last few relationships and write down, like, you know, fuck face 1, fuck face 2, fuck face 3, and then do columns of what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, how did he make me feel, good and bad, and then what did I learn having known them.
That's so,
and
I love
cross
that.
out the commonalities and see what I'm picking and kind of notice those themes.
That's beautiful.
Which is dope.
I love
right?
That.
It's awesome.
Chart? Yes.
Gonna do it. That sounds like fucking therapy right there. I was
Yeah.
like, this is therapy. Like that. Make it tangible. And look at it. Look at the commonalities. Look at what you're looking for. But it was great. But then, so I asked my grandma. And she said my grandma also has like 22, which is a really strong number in hers. And was like, is she really stubborn and stuck in her ways? Which, again,
is
something
grandma?
you could say about everyone's grandma.
But is also extremely true of your grandma. So
yeah, and I said, like, yeah, and this is, I think, part of, I don't know what it is about, like, people pleasing or what it, but I was like, yes, she only just started letting me go to the doctor with her, and I'm so excited. She's like, yeah, so you're gonna keep doing that. You're gonna help her get on all these different mushrooms and ginkgo biloba and use coconut oil and Moroccan olive oil and activated charcoal. Use all these things. Also look into this Dr. Joe Dispenza and David Wolf, and like he'll help you incorporate those things. But like, bottom line, she said, like, her decline is not gonna be quick. Like, you're gonna have her as her for a while. Because once she starts to really become aware of this, like, that stubbornness is going to kick in against that and not you guys.
Okay.
So that made
was
me...
nice.
I know.
That's
that
nice.
made me really happy. Oh, but no, about the love... She said she sees some 6-foot, white-collar, brunette gentleman.
Okay.
Who's
Nice.
ex-military, but white-collar.
No, that happens.
In what? Like, I guess you work in the DOD?
No,
like, you
that
work your way
happens.
up?
Yeah, no, that happens a lot. I mean,
But it says-
you're in the military, and that looks good on everyone's resume. You come out of it like.
And she said, I really see for you someone that, like, when he gets off work, like, he needs to be off work, and like he just wants to relax, like, just sit on the couch and do nothing. And I like that. Do you see a lot of pot?
Should write that down.
Yeah, I need an ex-military white collar that likes to lay around and smoke pot all day.
On the couch.
Is that
Yes.
a lot to ask?
I don't know.
It's going in the man box.
Gotta
We'll
put it in
see.
the box. Yeah, get
The
super
man
specific.
box.
I'm so excited.
Is it like it's like a vision board? Should I cut
Yeah.
out pictures too?
Sure, you could throw some in.
Celebrities that want overweight, pale white women.
Get really creepy and
Yeah.
start cutting out like body parts and gluing them all together.
She specifically said pecker size. So
You got to think about that.
yeah, I mean, it's true. I have a friend that really doesn't care for a larger pecker.
Pecker.
I think pecker kind of
Endeared you to her?
No, I think it would create a specific image, an accurate image of her. If I was listening to this and heard a psychic tell me, like,
Pecker
down
size.
to pecker size. Whatever you're picturing is probably really accurate. But she was super sweet. And she said, like, oh, there's your psychic line on your hands. And then I had to do this. And she's like,
I didn't have to do that.
She's like, did you think about getting married at one point when you were really young? And then, like, there was infidelity or death? And I was like, yeah, kind of. And she's like, okay, well, I see one more marriage. And it's going to be one more marriage for life. So, okay. And then she said my career line, like, started off kind of rocky and then stabilized for a long time, fucked shit up. And then after that, I just veer off into different projects for the rest of my life, and I never stay for anything.
Yeah, she mentioned about different projects for me, too. She said you have a lot of career ideas. I was like, yeah, I can see that.
Right? So I kind of like that. And then she talked about, like, this girl, Juicy something on...
She mentioned her to me, too. Yeah.
That she just interviews. And I was like, okay,
she goes around the world. Yeah. I told her it was up. She asked me what was the...
How'd you describe it to her? Because she didn't ask me about it because she had already talked to you.
Yeah. I said it's like social media, like a podcast, and things like that. But doing... this type of stuff, I kind of like pointed to around her room, like this type of stuff
and
as
candles and...
as beginners, right? We're new to it. So, and then she was like, oh yeah, there's
this lady travels the world and interviews people in the metaphysical. And I was like, that's the dream, son.
Yeah.
I want to travel the world and interview. And I think maybe she was hinting at maybe she wants to be interviewed for the podcast, which I'm down for.
Yeah, I could have definitely...
I want to hear more about how I'm psychic.
About, like, the process.
I didn't ask any... Yeah.
Like, her and how she came to it. Like, I was just like, okay, you're talking to your spirit guides, they're talking to my spirit guides, and they're communicating with you through these balls. Yeah, I wasn't ready to, like, put my interviewing hat on and really get down to what she does, how she does it. Yeah. How can we better help her to get accurate readings
Which, again,
of us?
I'm feeling resistance to. Because, like, you're the fucking psychic.
Right.
And I feel like it's coming off as aggressive or upset. Right? But I'm not. I loved her. I had, like, a great time. It was, like, silly and fun, but sweet, too. Like, I think asking about my grandma made it, like, as soon as it was falling, and I'm going to cry now, like, as soon as it was falling out of my mouth, like, is it like, how long are we going to have her? Like, how is she going to do?
Did it feel kind of therapeutic in a way?
It did. It felt like, and then like these practical homework tools, like I want to come back to her. Like she wrote my name down on a little Post-it. So I think she might send me some more stuff. Like I want to report back to her.
Yeah, she did tell me. She told me to text her once I knew what the baby was.
Did she?
Yeah. She's like, as I was walking out, she's like, text me. Yeah. She's predicting girl. Yeah,
What's her name again?
Lorraine?
That's right.
Lorraine, right?
Oh, I was going to say you should name the baby after her. But no, we're not naming the baby Lorraine. If she had a cool name, you should do that.
Lorraine's a fine name, but I'm not naming her.
It's a fine name, but it's not. I think you should name her after the psychic.
After the psychic, you saw that one time.
Yeah.
No, I would go back and do it again, especially now knowing that I feel like there is a way to get more from it.
Right. And I think the more specific I was, and I mean, she is just reading energy, and she's reading, using her life experience, using the cues you're giving her, reading that. And like, just even that, I think, and that's one of the benefits of therapy too, just having somebody to kind of, that doesn't have an agenda with you, that doesn't have preconceived notions about you or what you should be doing or anything, and just having this sounding board of like, this is the energy you're giving off. Maybe this is what you could work on.
Right. This is intuitively what I think, might be coming up or what's happening for you. An empathetic person
that, but she didn't give me like any concrete, like, your grandma's gonna die. But she did, should I beat her up? Like, what should I do if after the second week of March, I haven't met the man I'm going to marry for life?
I don't know. What did she tell me? Did I write it down for a podcast?
Like you should do if her predictions aren't right.
No.
You should come beat me up.
She said 18 months for Woo.ish.
She told me 18 to 22 months.
Yep, 18 months for this
and I said, well,
project to like...
Yeah.
And I didn't ask, like, I wasn't like...
I didn't either.
What happens in 18? Like, what? Like, we start, like, it gets off the ground.
So
we find success.
It came up for me.
Like, what?
We break up forever.
What's in 18 months?
Neither of us have any friends. No, so when she said... She started talking about career for me and then said, your friend mentioned a business. And I said, well, it's not quite a business. She's like, it will be in 18 to 22 months.
That's what she said. Okay.
That's what she said to me.
Tight.
Money. We just high-fived. Like guys in a 90s movie. And I have to go. We have to end this right now. I love you. Oh, I hope that was recorded.
Oh, God, I hope it recorded.
It did!